The RC24 Reverb has a couple other very important parameters. These are the sliders pre-delay, depth, and intensity. Intensity is how much modulation is applied to the reverb. You can choose from 4 different types of modulation down here, and this will give a chorus-like effect on the reverb, which will give it a bit more organic sound. Which can be nice. Depth is kind of like the depth of the room that you're in, and pre-delay, well, that speaks for itself. This allows you to determine a certain gap between the original sound and the moment the reverb starts. I'm going to try and use the short reverb on a couple different sources. Let's start with the guitar chords. I want to place them in a room. If you're wondering why I'm stopping the sequencer the whole time, it's because I want to have a good listen to the reverb. This guitar part is pretty dense, and it can be hard to actually hear the reverb through the guitar part. But this way I can have a good listen. Nice. Maybe also try this on the melody, guitar melody. Yeah, it gives it a nice airy sound. Other things that I could use it on are the drum loop here. Not too much, just so you can barely hear it. Let's listen to the whole mix now. Oh, and my trumpet certainly needs a bit of room reverb. And also a longer reverb, which I'm going to create in the next video. But let's have a listen to the trumpet. And here's the reason why you actually should not be applying reverb in solo, which I just did, because I had my send maybe over here. It sounds pretty good in solo. But when I unsolo it and the rest of the track is playing, the reverb is hardly audible. So better practice would be to do this when the entire track is playing, like this. That way you can set a much healthier level of reverb that will make your track shine. So let's go. Another reverb in Native Instruments Komplete is the RC48. And this one's based on what was probably an even more legendary reverb from Lexicon, the L480. Now the L480, I remember in the 1980s, was priced at around $30,000. But you know, you got 2 reverbs for that. You got 2 of the same units in one big casing. So you could actually use 2 of them at the same time. But you can imagine that not everybody had this in his studio, being in that price range. And even though the pricing seems crazy these days, which it kind of was, this was really the Rolls Royce in reverb. And the big studios all had them all around the world. And I remember somebody telling me that an artist like Prince would take this on the road with him for his live shows. So that tells you something about the quality of this reverb. Is this actually the same quality as the L480? Well, we'll see. Let's go to the kick again and see what this one sounds like. I'm going to send a bit of this to the long verb bus, and there we go. Now this one's got only 2 algorithms instead of the 3 that the RC24 offers, room, small hole, and a large hole. This only has the hole and the random hole. Random hole is a very famous Lexicon algorithm. It seems to be doing the Lexicon sound really well. The third slider here says size instead of intensity. If I bring down the size, the reverb will start to come a bit more in front, in your face. If I bring it up, the room size gets bigger, and that makes for a different type of reverb sound. See? Now the bass and mid sliders are pretty much the same as on the RC24. As you can see, bass, mid, and a crossover. Using shape and spread at the same time allows me to, well, actually shape the type of room that I'm listening to. If shape is all the way down, spread is not doing anything either. So these work together. And if I push up the shape, the reverb actually takes a little more time to develop. So that creates a bit of a richer sound. Okay, anyway, I want to have a long reverb for this. Maybe I'm just going to go for the whole algorithm. Sounding good? I'm trying to not make the mistake of considering long reverb anything only above 5 seconds or so. Because 2 seconds, like I have here now, is pretty long in reality. I think I like this. I'm going to try this on a couple different sources, like, again, the trumpet, very important. First on solo a bit. To give it a bit of that expansive sound, a bit of that expansive polish. Now let's try this in the mix without the kick, of course. Sounding good. Okay, the little snare here is an effect that I really think needs a bit of long reverb. This is it dry. Super boring. Now with a bit of reverb, just a touch. That's even way too much. And it's the small movements, you know, that make a good mix. Even these tiny bits of reverb everywhere can lift your mix up, give it much greater depth and width and organic feeling. So definitely keep the movements small. The guitar melody, maybe a little extra reverb. Nice.